The devolved system of government introduced through a referendum in 2010 created 47 counties in Kenya. Nairobi is the most economically vibrant county, contributing at least half of the country's $37 billion GDP.
We collect, our collection, the year that's just closed is 7 billion. And my projection is that by the end of 5 years, we'll be collecting at least 4 or 5 times what we've collected this year, in excess of 30 billion. A number of reasons is we'll deepen the collection and widen the net of the collection without overburdening the citizen or the wananchi of Nairobi. And obviously, Nairobians realize it, that they're good service. If they want good service, then they've got to pay for it. And we'll make sure that the services that are provided are not only commensurate, but way above the monies they pay for them.
There's a lot that slips in the city council in form of uncollected levies and licensing, parking fees and that kind of thing. There's a lot of theft that has existed and corruption within the city council. We had the instance of quite a lot of ghost workers who were being paid salaries and yet they don't exist and they shouldn't be receiving that. So I think maybe the first doubling is going to come from just controlling the losses that have been happening aside from what they're collecting.
Though Nairobi aspires to achieve world-class city status, it is grappling with many challenges, including poor urban planning, low housing for its 4 million residents, deplorable sanitation, and a large informal settlement.
6 out of 10 people live in the informal settlements. There have been no formal housing programs. There have been no formal social services supply programs like water. And that's the reason why water costs 20 times in the informal settlements than the normal tariff as supplied by Nairobi Water. There's not been plans for the sewer system. So currently, with that population of nearly 4 million, we need probably something like 500,000 new houses in Nairobi.
And while the governor has lined up his key priority areas, the business community and city residents want the following issue tackled first.
But I would love to see much done about the insecurity in town, where all too often there's mugging, somebody's bag has gone, somebody's phone has gone from the window of the matatu they're traveling in. I would also want to see maybe the street boys also, they've come back, the street families have come back massively. And this brings about insecurity because all too often, once again, they are snatching things from the customers who want to buy wherever they want to go and do business.
Garbage collection should be the main thing because you walk around in estates and you still see a lot of litter and garbage and heaps of litter, and I thought maybe that should be one of the priority areas so that at least Nairobi, being the main city, can actually be as clean as possible, even to attract investors.
I'm in the business of doing deliveries, and one of our biggest problems is actually finding people's homes or offices because we're without a delivery, an address location system. And I think it's very easy to implement. We have the technology that exists today. So if there's a way in which Nairobi could be mapped out easily. So if somebody says, I am here at this particular place, number 4, it's very easy for me to get there and take them what they want.
Like many other counties, ghost workers are a perennial problem, with Nairobi paying at least 30% to non-existent workers out of its 4,000 workforce. The wage bill is presently hovering at about 1 billion shillings.
The wage bill is twice the collection before you put in other operational expenses. And earlier on I talked about the money is being paid without commensurate level of service. That wage bill is absolutely not sustainable. And we are aware that there are a lot of ghost workers. So we are going to make sure only people who add value and provide service to the city residents stay in the payroll of the county government and the county of government.
We have, first of all, a lot of workers in the Nairobi City Council. It's not particularly efficient. Getting things done in the past and maybe even today takes too long for very basic things. Basic licensing takes too long simply because of the amount of human intervention involved in the processes. Parking fees and that kind of thing does not necessarily have to be by individuals who are then salaried or who then strike or who also take some of this money sometimes, especially on weekends, and don't remit it to the offices.
The government has embarked on aggressive infrastructure development plans countrywide, such as expanding the road network. While counties can ride on some of these benefits, there is still a lot that needs to be done to solve the traffic menace.
The City Council can also be the one to provide scheduled transport in form of maybe some very nice buses like what they have in airports, only to ferry people from the parking sites into the city at specific intervals. So that already brings some level of organization. That brings some certainty because you as a commuter are sure that if I park at 9:20, I'll get the 9:25 bus, I'll be in the city by 9:30. So I will make it for my meeting.
Of course, this will be supplemented by the rail system. The Syokimau has done, the Syokimau one, Syokimau to Nairobi has been done, but there are no stations in between. So currently Makadara station is being done. That's one lane. The other one will be from Ruiru through Kahawa into Nairobi.